There are 13 items being quietly pulled from Dollar Tree shelves right now, and if you or someone in your family relies on any of these, you genuinely have a limited window to grab them before they're gone for good. This isn't a normal seasonal clearance, this is a discontinuation, meaning once the current stocks sells through, these specific items are not coming back. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 13 to look for, and number 8 is the one that's going to affect the most people watching this. If you're new here, this channel breaks down what's actually worth buying at Dollar Tree and what's changing on shelves before most people notice. So if that's useful to you, hit subscribe before we get into it, because catching a discontinuation early while stock is still available is the only way to actually benefit from information like this. Before we get into the list, I want to explain how I know these are being discontinued rather than just temporarily out of stock. Several of these items have started showing up with a distinct clearance sticker pattern, combined with employees confirming in a few locations that these specific product lines won't be reordered once current inventory runs out. This tends to happen when a supplier contract ends, when a product line gets replaced by a newer version, or when a category simply isn't performing well enough nationally to justify keeping it stocked. Whatever the specific reason, the pattern across all 13 of these is the same. Once it's gone, it's gone. One more thing before we start. A lot of these items matter specifically for older shoppers, people managing daily medications, mobility challenges, or vision changes that make certain products more of a daily necessity than a nice to have. If that applies to you or someone you're shopping for, this list is worth paying extra close attention to. All right, let's get into it. Number 1, the large print daily pill organizers. These 7-day organizers with oversized, easy-to-read day labels have been a steady seller for years. But the specific large print version is being phased out in favor of a smaller, more compact design that doesn't have the same easy-to-read labeling. If daily medication organization matters to you, this specific large print version is worth grabbing a couple of while it's still available, since the replacement design simply isn't built the same way, and reading a small, cramped day label on the newer version genuinely defeats the purpose for anyone who needed the larger text in the first place. Number 2, the extra strength reading glasses in the higher magnification range, specifically the 2.5 and 3.0 strengths. Dollar Tree is narrowing their reading glasses lineup down to the more commonly purchased lower magnifications, which means anyone who needs stronger correction is going to have a harder time finding what they need here going forward. If you or a family member relies on the higher end of that magnification range, it's worth stocking up on a few pairs now, since finding that specific strength anywhere else at this price point is going to be noticeably harder once the current shelf stock is gone. Number 3, the non-slip bath mats with the suction cup backing. This specific style with the thicker rubber suction cups rather than the newer adhesive strip design is being phased out. Bathroom safety products like this matter a lot for fall prevention, and the suction cup version has consistently held up better over time than the adhesive alternative replacing it, which makes this a genuinely practical item to grab extras of before it disappears. Especially since a mat that stops gripping properly after a few months is a real safety downgrade, not just an inconvenience. Number 4, the oversized magnifying glasses with the built-in LED light. This combination of magnification and lighting in one handheld tool has been popular for reading fine print on medication labels and mail, but it's being discontinued in favor of a smaller, dimmer version without the same light output. If reading small text is a daily challenge, This is one of the more practical tools on this entire list to grab before it's gone, particularly for reading medication labels, which often use noticeably smaller print than most other everyday documents. Number 5, the compression sock multi-packs. These have been a reliable, affordable option for circulation support, and they're being pulled as the health aisle gets reorganized to make room for a smaller overall selection. Compression socks from other retailers tend to run significantly more per pair, so this is a genuine value that's disappearing, not just a minor inconvenience. And if you go through a pair or two regularly, stocking up now genuinely saves real money over buying the pricier alternative later. Number 6, the Easy Grip Jar and Bottle Openers. This specific rubberized grip design has been discontinued in favor of a plastic version that reviewers and in-store shoppers have already noted doesn't provide nearly the same amount of traction. For anyone dealing with reduced hand strength or arthritis, this small tool makes a genuine daily difference. And it's worth grabbing a couple while the better gripping version is still on shelves, since a jar opener that doesn't actually grip well ends up being nearly useless for the exact people who need it most. Number 7. The large button television remotes designed as universal replacements. These simplified remotes with oversized buttons and minimal extra functions have been popular specifically for older adults who find standard remotes overly complicated. This entire product line is being discontinued, and based on what I've seen, there isn't a direct replacement coming in to fill that specific niche, which means finding a simplified remote like this one at a comparable price is going to require checking a specialty retailer instead of a quick trip to Dollar Tree. And number 8, the one that's going to affect the most people. The blood pressure monitor cuffs sold as replacement parts for home monitors. This is a smaller, easy-to-miss category, but for anyone using a home blood pressure monitor that needs an occasional replacement cuff, this has been one of the few affordable places to find one without ordering online and waiting for shipping. This entire category is being pulled from the health section, and once current stock sells out, there isn't a similar replacement item planned to take its place, which makes this genuinely one of the more significant items on this whole list for anyone managing blood pressure at home. A worn-out cuff that isn't replaced can actually throw off your readings over time. So this isn't just about convenience, it's about making sure your monitor keeps giving you accurate numbers. Number 9, the extra large print daily devotional and puzzle books. These large print word search and crossword books, along with the large print devotional readers, are being phased out as the book and stationery section shifts toward a smaller, more general selection. For anyone who specifically needs the larger print size to comfortably read and complete these, this is a category worth stocking up on now, since the general print replacement books coming in won't offer the same comfortable reading experience for anyone whose eyes tire quickly with smaller text. Number 10. The foam grip pens designed for easier handwriting. These pens with the built-in cushioned grip have been popular for anyone dealing with hand tremors or reduced grip strength, and they're being discontinued in favor of a standard pen line without the same ergonomic design. If handwriting comfort matters to you or someone you shop for, this is a small but genuinely useful item to grab a few extras of, since a standard thin pen barrel can make writing noticeably more tiring and less legible for anyone dealing with hand tremors or joint stiffness. Number 11. The shower chair replacement parts, specifically the rubber tip and grip attachments sold separately from the full chair. This is a niche but important category for anyone maintaining an existing shower safety chair. And once these specific replacement parts are gone, there isn't a clear alternative source at this price point still available in the store, meaning a fully functional chair could end up unusable simply because a small rubber grip wore out and couldn't be replaced. Number 12, the talking digital thermometers with the audio readout feature. This specific model, which announces the temperature reading out loud, is being discontinued in favor of a standard silent digital thermometer. For anyone with vision changes who relies on that audio feature to read a temperature accurately, this is one of the more specialized items on the list, and it's genuinely hard to find a comparable audio readout thermometer at this price point anywhere else, since most budget thermometers skip the audio feature entirely in favor of a basic digital display. And number 13, closing out the list. The greeting card specifically designed with extra large print and simple, high contrast designs. This particular card line was created with vision accessibility in mind, larger text, higher contrast colors, and less cluttered background designs than a typical greeting card. It's being phased out as the card aisle standardizes around a single general design line, which means this specific accessible option won't be available going forward. So if you regularly send cards to someone who benefits from that larger, higher contrast text, this is worth stocking up on for the whole year ahead rather than buying one card at a time. So why is all of this happening at once? It comes down to how retailers periodically review underperforming or narrow niche product lines across the entire chain. When corporate does one of these reviews, categories that serve a smaller, specific audience, even when that audience genuinely depends on the product, are more likely to get cut in favor of items with broader, higher volume appeal. That's not a judgment on whether these products matter. It's simply how large-scale retail decisions get made, based on overall sales volume across thousands of stores, rather than how essential an item might be to a smaller group of shoppers. It's also worth understanding that this kind of review tends to happen in waves rather than continuously, which is part of why this particular list feels concentrated around accessibility and senior-focused items specifically. When one review cycle focuses on a particular section, like the health and wellness aisle, it often pulls multiple related items at once rather than just one or two, which is exactly the pattern we're seeing across this list. This also explains why some of these items might not show up as discontinued at every single store at the exact same time. Corporate decisions like this typically roll out in stages, with some regions and store clusters implementing the change before others, which means your specific store might be a few weeks ahead of or behind a neighboring location in actually clearing out this particular inventory. If you don't see the pattern starting yet at your usual store, that doesn't mean it isn't coming. It likely just means your location hasn't hit that stage of the rollout yet. So what should you actually do with this information? First, if any of these 13 items are things you or someone you care for relies on regularly, don't wait to make this trip. Discontinued items typically don't get restocked once the current inventory sells through, and depending on how popular a specific item is locally, that could happen within just a couple of weeks. Items tied to daily routines like the pill organizers or the reading glasses tend to move especially fast once other shoppers start noticing the same clearance pattern you're seeing right now. Second, it's worth checking multiple nearby locations if your first stop doesn't have what you're looking for, since discontinued stock sells through at different rates from store to store, and a location with slower foot traffic might still have inventory that a busier store already sold out of. If you have 2 or 3 Dollar Tree locations within a reasonable drive, it's genuinely worth calling ahead or checking in person at each one rather than assuming your usual store's stock reflects what every nearby location has left. And third, if you're shopping for a parent, grandparent, or anyone who might not see this video themselves, this is genuinely worth passing along, since a lot of these items solve real daily problems that are easy to overlook until you're the one who needs them. A quick phone call or text mentioning even 2 or 3 items from this list could save someone a frustrating search later once these are fully gone from shelves. A fourth tip worth mentioning is to ask an employee directly whether a specific item is being discontinued rather than just temporarily restocked. Since staff can often tell you definitively based on what's showing up or not showing up in their regular ordering system, which takes the guesswork out of whether something is truly gone for good or just between shipments. If you found this breakdown helpful, please consider sharing it with anyone who might benefit, especially if they're managing daily medications, vision changes, or mobility challenges, since a lot of these items make a bigger difference than their small price tag suggests. A lot of people who genuinely need something on this list simply won't stumble across this video on their own. So passing it along directly is honestly the most useful thing you can do with this information beyond your own shopping trip. Let me know in the comments if you've noticed any of these disappearing at your local store already. And if there's anything else you've spotted quietly getting phased out that didn't make it onto this particular list, since I know 13 items can't possibly cover everything happening across every single location right now. Make sure you're subscribed so you catch the next list before the window closes on it too. Because based on how this one has been moving, I don't expect it to be the last discontinuation wave we cover on this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.